The world sat in stunned silence as the holographic message flickered to life on screens all over the globe. In the center of the UN headquarters, the leader of the Galactic Council, a cold and calculating alien figure, addressed the people of Earth. The room was silent, the air thick with tension. The message was simple, yet devastating. The Galactic Council had decided to abandon Earth. They declared humanity as weak and unworthy, calling humans primitive and insignificant in the greater galactic scheme of things. Earth, once seen as a potential ally to the most powerful forces in the universe, was now an afterthought. "We have no place for your kind in our Federation," the alien leader's voice echoed from the screen, a tone of finality in his words. "You are on your own. The Council has no further interest in Earth. Survive, if you can." The shock hit the world like a thunderclap. Leaders and civilians alike were frozen in disbelief, their hopes dashed in an instant. For decades, humanity had been in contact with the Galactic Council, receiving guidance, technology, and protection. Earth was no longer alone in the universe. Humans had become part of something bigger. And now, in a matter of seconds, it was all gone. As the message ended, the entire Earth seemed to collectively hold its breath. The alien fleet, vast, imposing, and a symbol of power, began to retreat. Ships as large as cities slowly turned their engines and left the solar system, their massive shadows casting a long and ominous presence as they departed. The stars, once a sign of possibility and expansion, now felt colder, more distant. People around the world were in chaos. Governments scrambled to issue orders, trying to calm the masses, but fear spread like wildfire. What would happen to Earth now? With the protection of the Galactic Council removed, would Earth face invasion, or worse, complete annihilation? The sudden emptiness left by the departure of the fleet was deafening, and the uncertainty of the future seemed unbearable. Suspense, but in the midst of the panic, not all was lost. A small group of military operatives, led by a seasoned soldier named Bonner, were quietly working in the shadows, determined to find a way to survive. These operatives were not the high-ranking generals or political leaders, but a covert team of soldiers who had been dealing with alien technology for years. They were known only to a few, trusted with the most dangerous and secretive assignments. The group had spent years in quiet secrecy, collecting data and examining old alien ruins. They had seen glimpses of what Earth could achieve if given the right tools, but they had been kept hidden from the public. Now, with the Council's betrayal, they knew they had to act quickly. Bonner and his team were on a mission to investigate a long-forgotten alien facility buried deep within the Arctic ice. The location had been discovered during a past expedition but was never fully explored. Now, it seemed like the last hope for humanity. The team knew that if they could access the technology hidden inside, they might just have a fighting chance to survive. The team arrived at the facility, their breath clouding in the freezing air as they landed on the icy surface. The ground was barren, with no signs of life, just endless stretches of snow and ice. The team deployed their equipment and began to dig, uncovering a massive structure buried beneath the ice, a relic from a forgotten time. As the team ventured deeper into the facility, their hearts pounded with anticipation. The technology they were about to uncover was something no human had ever seen before. The walls were lined with strange symbols, glowing faintly with an eerie light, as if they were alive. The air inside the facility was cold, but the atmosphere was charged with an electric tension. Bonner could feel it, this place held the key to Earth's future. As they ventured deeper, they finally reached the heart of the facility, and there it was, a massive chamber filled with alien tech beyond anything humanity could comprehend. Sleek, metallic devices hummed with energy, and strange, intricate machines pulsed with life. The technology was unlike anything humans had ever encountered. The systems were far more advanced than anything the Galactic Council had ever shared, and yet, they seemed to be dormant. The discovery was both exhilarating and terrifying. Bonner and his team were overwhelmed by the sheer scale of what they had found. This technology, if understood and harnessed, could give humanity the edge they desperately needed. But there was a problem: time. The Galactic Council had left Earth, but they hadn't forgotten about it. They would return, of that, Bonner was certain. The question was, could humans unlock the secrets of this technology before the Council realized what they had found? Fear and hope, Bonner stood in the center of the chamber, surveying the alien machinery. His mind raced as he thought about the enormous responsibility now resting on their shoulders. If they failed to understand this technology, Earth would remain at the mercy of a universe full of hostile forces. But if they succeeded, humanity could be more than just an insignificant planet in the vast expanse of space. Earth could become a force to be reckoned with. His team began to set up equipment to start analyzing the tech. They knew it was dangerous, and there was no time to waste. Bonner turned to Dr. Lyra, a brilliant scientist who had been working with the team for years. She was the best chance humanity had at understanding the alien devices. Her eyes were wide with amazement as she studied the machines. This is unlike anything I've ever seen," she whispered, her fingers tracing the glowing symbols on the walls. "This isn't just technology, this is something more. It's almost as if it's alive." Bonner nodded. "We need to learn everything we can, and fast. The Council won't be gone forever. We have to be ready." As they worked to extract data from the alien systems, Bonner couldn't shake the nagging feeling that they were running out of time. The Galactic Council had underestimated humanity before, but now, with advanced alien technology at their disposal, Earth might just have a fighting chance to turn the tables. But would they be able to unlock its full potential before the Council returned to finish what they had started? The suspense hung in the air as Bonner and his team raced against time. Every moment felt critical. Could they harness the power of the alien tech, or would Earth's struggle for survival end before it even began? In the aftermath of the Galactic Council's betrayal, Earth was left in ruins, but humanity had something the aliens never expected: a burning desire to survive. With the advanced alien technology now in their hands, humans quickly began to rebuild, tapping into the unimaginable power of the machines they had uncovered beneath the icy Arctic. What started as a moment of despair soon became a turning point. Earth was no longer a weak and defenseless planet, it was evolving into a force that could challenge the most powerful empire in the galaxy. The first few months were filled with urgency. Governments and scientific communities across Earth went into overdrive, working in secret to reverse-engineer the alien technology. The most brilliant minds on Earth, including Dr. Lyra, worked around the clock to understand the machinery. What had once seemed impossible, cloaking devices, faster-than-light travel, AI-driven defense systems, was now within their grasp. The technology was far beyond anything humanity had ever seen, and yet, it was now theirs to control. Bonner, the battle-hardened soldier, led the efforts to weaponize these discoveries. His military expertise and understanding of alien tactics proved invaluable as he worked with a team of scientists and engineers to create Earth's first cloaked warship. It was a massive project, one that would change the tide of the war. Using the alien tech, the ship was constructed with sleek, metallic hulls that were almost impossible to see. When activated, the cloaking device rendered the ship invisible, allowing it to sneak up on enemy forces undetected. Bonner oversaw every detail of the warship's construction, and his eyes lit up with determination. He knew that the Council would never expect Earth to retaliate, and this secret weapon would be their first strike in a war they thought was already won. As the warship's first test came near, Bonner stood on the command deck, his hands clenched into fists. This was their chance to prove they weren't weak. The day of the warship's first mission arrived, and Bonner and his team were ready. As the cloaked warship glided into space, it was invisible to the eyes of the enemy, a ghost in the void. The target was a heavily guarded supply convoy belonging to the Galactic Council, stationed on the outer rim of a distant star system. The convoy was carrying supplies to reinforce a fleet that was on its way to Earth. This was Earth's first offensive move, and it had to be successful. Inside the cloaked warship, Bonner watched as the countdown to the attack began. The team was tense but focused. Bonner had trained them for this moment, and now they were ready. The warship silently approached the convoy, hidden from view by the cloaking technology. Once they were in range, the order was given, and the warship unleashed its first strike. Laser cannons and advanced weaponry, reverse-engineered from the alien technology, erupted from the ship's hidden weapons bays. The convoy, caught completely off guard, had no time to retaliate. The ships were torn apart in seconds, their defenses useless against the power of Earth's newly developed weapons. The convoy was reduced to debris, and Earth's warship vanished into the darkness of space before the enemy even knew what hit them. Bonner stood on the deck, a fierce smile on his face. The attack had been a success, but he knew this was just the beginning. Earth had made its mark, and the Galactic Council would soon learn that humanity wasn't going to lie down and die. They were going to fight back with everything they had. Meanwhile, back on Earth, Dr. Lyra and her team were busy working on the next phase of their technological advancements. The AI systems they had begun to program were now becoming increasingly sophisticated. These systems were designed to enhance the capabilities of the warships, provide advanced tactical support, and even manage the defense systems of Earth's cities. Dr. Lyra worked tirelessly, her fingers flying over the holographic keyboards as she programmed the systems to recognize alien battle strategies. It was a race against time, and she knew that every second counted. While Bonner focused on military operations, Dr. Lyra's work was crucial to ensuring Earth's long-term survival. She had become the heart of the technological revolution that was unfolding on Earth. She didn't have the same combat experience as Bonner, but her intellect was unmatched. She knew that with her work, humanity could level the playing field and, perhaps, even turn the tables on the Galactic Council. Despite the victories and the advances being made, the path to survival was not easy. The memory of the fallen soldiers from the First War against the Galactic Council still haunted Bonner. As he stood in the quiet of the command center, he watched a memorial video, a tribute to the comrades who had died fighting for humanity's future. The faces of those who had sacrificed everything flashed before his eyes, soldiers, engineers, scientists, all of them taken too soon. The video ended with a simple message: never forget the price of freedom. Bonner's eyes were heavy with the weight of the losses, but as he watched the memorial, something ignited within him. These men and women had died for a cause they believed in, and their deaths would not be in vain. Bonner clenched his fists, his resolve hardening like steel. He could almost hear their voices urging him forward. They hadn't fought just to lose, they fought so humanity could have a chance to rise, to fight back, to claim their place in the galaxy. Turning away from the screen, Bonner addressed his team. We owe it to them. We owe it to everyone who died in the last war. We will make sure their sacrifice counts. Humanity will rise again. His words were not just a rallying cry, they were a promise. Bonner and his team would not stop until Earth had taken back its place in the universe. With the alien technology now at their disposal, there was no limit to what they could achieve. Humanity had been abandoned, yes, but they would not be erased. They would rise stronger than ever before. As the team rallied around him, Bonner could feel the weight of the mission ahead. They had begun the fight, but it was far from over. The Galactic Council had underestimated humanity once, and now, with the strength of alien technology at their disposal, Earth was ready to show the universe just how wrong they were. After decades of silence, the Galactic Council returned to Earth, unaware of the incredible technological leap humanity had made in their absence. The Council believed that Earth was still weak, vulnerable, and easily controlled. They had no idea that in the years since their betrayal, humans had transformed, becoming a force that could challenge even the might of the most advanced galactic empires. As the Council's fleet emerged from the depths of space, Earth was ready. The humans had spent decades preparing for this moment, perfecting the alien technology, developing powerful weapons, and training soldiers to fight with unmatched determination. This time, humanity would not be left defenseless. The stage was set for a showdown of epic proportions. The Galactic Council's fleet entered Earth's solar system, their massive warships cutting through the darkness of space. The ships were a sight to behold, colossal, technologically advanced, and seemingly invincible. The Council believed their return would be met with submission, that Earth would bow to their might without a fight. But the humans had other plans. As the first alien warship entered Earth's atmosphere, something unexpected happened. A sudden burst of light erupted from nowhere, and a cloaked human warship appeared, launching a devastating barrage of plasma missiles at the alien ship. The blast sent shockwaves through space, and the alien warship erupted in flames, breaking apart into pieces. The Galactic Council was no longer the predator, it was now the prey. The humans had perfected their cloaking technology. For decades, their warships had been built in secret, equipped with advanced weapons and energy shields. They could now disappear in plain sight, making it nearly impossible for the Council to detect them until it was too late. The first attack was a success, but it was only the beginning. The battle raged on as more cloaked human ships emerged from the darkness of space, ambushing the alien fleet from every direction. The sky was filled with bright explosions as plasma blasts from the human ships collided with the armor of the Council's warships. Each explosion sent ripples through the atmosphere, rocking the ships as they tried to regroup and retaliate. But the humans had an ace up their sleeve: robots and drones. These machines, built using the advanced alien tech, were faster, stronger, and more precise than anything the Galactic Council had ever encountered. As the battle intensified, Earth's forces began deploying these robotic warriors on the front lines. The robots, with their advanced weaponry and AI capabilities, helped to push the human forces forward, cutting down alien troops and securing strategic positions. In the heat of the battle, Bonner's warship led the charge. He was a symbol of humanity's strength, his ship moving through space with deadly precision. His mission was clear: destroy the Council's fleet before they could regroup. His ship's cloaking device rendered it nearly invisible, allowing Bonner to lead surprise attacks and obliterate alien warships from within their own ranks. With every enemy ship destroyed, Bonner's team grew more confident. The tides of war were turning in humanity's favor. The human forces were using their new technologies to their fullest advantage. Energy shields surrounded their ships, protecting them from enemy fire, while AI-driven weapon systems ensured every strike was a direct hit. The battle became a deadly game of cat and mouse, with cloaked warships appearing and disappearing, picking off the Council's forces one by one. The Council, unprepared for this kind of resistance, struggled to keep up with the relentless human attacks. Just as the humans thought they were gaining the upper hand, the tide of battle shifted once again. Earth's leaders received an encrypted transmission from a scout ship that had infiltrated the enemy lines. The message was clear: the Galactic Council was sending reinforcements. The reinforcements were not just any ships, they were the most advanced warships the Council had ever created. The new flagship was called Zetron, a massive AI-controlled warship capable of destroying entire cities with its devastating weaponry. It was a weapon unlike anything the humans had ever faced, an unstoppable force that could wipe out everything in its path. Zetron was equipped with energy cannons so powerful they could level entire continents, and its AI system was so advanced that it could adapt to every human strategy in real time. The message from the scout ship sent shockwaves through the command center on Earth. Humanity had already fought bravely, but Zetron was unlike any enemy they had ever encountered. It was intelligent, fast, and capable of changing the course of the war with a single strike. If they couldn't stop Zetron, Earth would be doomed. Bonner, his face grim, gathered his team and prepared for the final battle. The countdown had begun. The humans had no choice but to launch a counterattack before Zetron arrived. This was their chance to take down the Galactic Council once and for all. The war was far from over. Earth's leaders and military strategists knew that the next battle would be the most crucial one. If humanity could destroy Zetron, they would break the back of the Galactic Council and secure their place in the galaxy. But if they failed, Earth would fall, and with it, all of humanity's hopes for survival. As the first waves of reinforcements arrived, the human fleet braced for impact. The battle that followed would be the largest and most intense yet. With their cloaked warships and advanced technologies, the humans fought fiercely against the overwhelming force of the Galactic Council's reinforcements. The stakes were higher than ever before. If the humans couldn't stop Zetron, everything they had fought for would be lost. With Zetron on its way, Bonner knew that this would be the last chance to change the course of the war. The humans had advanced far beyond the Council's expectations, but the Council had one final weapon, a weapon that could obliterate Earth in a single strike. As the battle raged on, Bonner's warship locked onto Zetron's position. The final stand was about to begin. With time running out, the humans made their move. The countdown to humanity's final stand had begun. Would they rise to the challenge and prove that they were no longer the weak, defenseless species they once were? Or would the Galactic Council's ultimate weapon prove too powerful to overcome? The fate of Earth rested on a knife's edge, and only time would tell if humanity's rise to strength could overcome the darkness of the Galactic Council's tyranny. The day had come. The Galactic Council's ultimate weapon, the AI-controlled warship Zetron, entered Earth's orbit, casting an ominous shadow over the planet. Its massive size and power were unlike anything humanity had ever faced. Zetron was designed to destroy entire cities with a single strike, its advanced AI capable of adapting to every human tactic. The Galactic Council had sent it to crush humanity once and for all, to remind them of their place in the galaxy. But this time, humanity wasn't going down without a fight. The warship's presence in Earth's orbit sent shockwaves through the planet. Every human on the ground could feel the threat looming above. The time had come for Bonner and his elite team of soldiers to make their final stand. They had fought through years of hardship, used stolen alien technology to level the playing field, and now, they had one last chance to defeat the Council. If they failed, Earth would be lost forever. Bonner stood at the helm of his ship, staring at Zetron through the view screen. It was massive, a hulking behemoth in space. Its weapons were capable of wiping out entire cities, and its AI was designed to be unbeatable. Yet, Bonner knew that this was the final battle. Humanity had come too far to lose now. The team, handpicked for this mission, gathered around him. There was Dr. Lyra, the brilliant scientist who had helped reverse-engineer the alien technology. There was Sergeant Davis, Bonner's closest friend, a man whose loyalty to humanity was unwavering. And then there were the other soldiers, each one a battle-hardened warrior ready to risk everything for Earth's survival. They all knew what was at stake. Bonner gave a nod, signaling that the time to act had come. Their plan was simple, but dangerous. They would infiltrate Zetron and disable its core systems, one piece at a time. The mission would be a series of high-risk operations, with the team split into smaller groups to handle different threats. If they succeeded, they could neutralize Zetron and cripple the Council's forces for good. If they failed, Earth would fall. The team descended into Zetron's massive docking bay, their cloaked warship hidden in the shadows. As soon as they breached the warship's interior, chaos erupted. The team split into smaller groups, each with a specific target. One team was tasked with disabling Zetron's shield generators, while Bonner and Dr. Lyra would make their way to the main control room to shut down its AI core. The walls of Zetron's interior were cold, metallic, and sterile. The hum of the AI-driven systems reverberated through the ship, a constant reminder of the enemy they were facing. Bonner led the way, his pulse steady despite the pressure. He had faced impossible odds before, but this mission felt different. There was a finality to it, either they would win, or Earth would be destroyed. As they moved deeper into the heart of the warship, they encountered resistance. AI-controlled robots, programmed to protect Zetron at all costs, attacked the team on sight. The first wave of drones came at them, and the battle for survival began. The soldiers fought with everything they had, using their advanced weapons and technology to overpower the machines. But it wasn't enough. The robots adapted quickly, learning from every strike. The air was thick with tension as Bonner and his team pressed forward. Sparks flew from damaged machinery, lighting up the dark hallways of Zetron's interior. The clashing of weapons, the roar of gunfire, and the sound of metallic limbs colliding filled the air as Bonner and his soldiers engaged in brutal hand-to-hand combat with the AI-controlled robots. Their bodies moved in perfect synchrony, every strike calculated, every move precise. Bonner's heart pounded as he swung his energy blade, slicing through a robot's torso with a powerful slash. The machine crumpled to the floor, but there was no time to rest. Another wave of robots appeared, each more dangerous than the last. Bonner's team fought back, but they were outnumbered. In the midst of the chaos, Bonner's heart skipped a beat when he heard a scream. He turned just in time to see Sergeant Davis, his close friend and fellow soldier, get struck by a powerful blast from one of the AI's defense systems. The blast sent him flying back, his body crashing into the wall with a sickening thud. Bonner rushed to his side, but it was too late. Sergeant Davis lay there, blood pooling around him, his eyes staring blankly into the void. Bonner's breath caught in his throat. He had lost so many friends in the war, but this one felt different. Davis had been by his side from the very beginning. He was the heart of their team, always pushing them to do better, to keep fighting no matter the odds. Losing him now was a blow Bonner couldn't afford. But he couldn't dwell on it. Not now. Humanity's survival was on the line, and he couldn't let Davis's sacrifice be in vain. As Bonner closed Davis's eyes, he made a silent vow, he would see this through. The council would fall. Zetron would be destroyed. Bonner clenched his fists and turned back to the fight, his resolve harder than ever. He would not stop until Zetron was nothing but a smoldering wreck. The team pressed on, determined to reach the control room. They knew that once they got there, they would have to face the most dangerous enemy of all, the AI core. It was a living, thinking entity, and it was capable of adapting to any attack. They had one shot to disable it, but they had no idea what kind of defenses Zetron would throw at them. As they reached the control room's entrance, the doors slammed shut behind them, and the AI's voice echoed through the ship. "You cannot defeat me," it said, cold and mechanical. "I am invincible." But Bonner wasn't afraid. "We'll see about that," he muttered under his breath. With a final, decisive blow, Bonner and his team breached the control room. They fought their way through a final wave of robots, determined to reach the AI core. Dr. Lyra worked quickly, her fingers flying over the console as she hacked into Zetron's systems. Time was running out. The countdown to Zetron's planetary destruction had already begun. Bonner and his team were out of time. The AI's systems were failing, but not fast enough. The countdown to destruction was nearly at zero. With one final surge of effort, Bonner and Dr. Lyra managed to infiltrate Zetron's central core. They fought their way to the heart of the ship, facing the last wave of robots and the AI's final defenses. In the heart of Zetron's control room, with seconds to spare, Bonner deactivated the core. The ship shuddered, then went silent. The warship Zetron had been defeated. Humanity had won. Bonner and his team had succeeded. The Galactic Council's final weapon was destroyed. As Earth's forces celebrated their hard-won victory, Bonner stood silently, his heart heavy with the memories of the friends they had lost. The fight was over, but the scars would remain. Humanity had proven that they would never be broken. They had risen from the ashes of betrayal, fought against impossible odds, and emerged victorious. The galaxy had underestimated Earth. But now, the humans had a new place in the stars, a place of strength, pride, and unity. The future was theirs to shape, the battle was finally over. After years of struggle, humanity had achieved the unthinkable, they had taken down the Galactic Council's most powerful weapon, Zetron, and in doing so, had struck a massive blow to the entire alien empire. The AI warship had been their final hope, but the Council had underestimated humanity's determination and resourcefulness. In a final, explosive climax, Bonner and Dr. Lyra had managed to infiltrate Zetron's core and disable it, causing a massive explosion that sent shockwaves rippling through the battlefield. With the ship destroyed, the remaining Galactic Council forces were left in disarray, unable to match the power that humanity now possessed. Earth, once thought to be weak and defenseless, had proven its strength. The massive shockwaves from the destruction of Zetron reverberated through the cold void of space, creating a stunning display of light and energy. As the warship erupted in flames, the shockwaves ripped through the alien fleet, causing explosions that tore through the dark expanse. Earth's fleets, once outmatched and underpowered, now surged forward in triumph, rising from their cloaked positions to join the battle in full force. Ships that had once been hidden in the shadows of space emerged into the open, their cloaking devices no longer necessary. Humanity's ships moved with precision and speed, their newly developed technologies, cloaked warships, energy shields, and AI-driven weaponry, proving to be a force unlike anything the Galactic Council had faced before. The remaining alien ships, now leaderless and scattered, were easy targets. One by one, the alien warships were torn apart by human firepower, their defenses no match for the advanced weaponry humanity had developed. In the distance, the last of the alien forces retreated in fear, their once proud fleets now crippled and disorganized. Earth's ships pursued them for a time, but there was no need to follow. The enemy had been defeated. The Galactic Council, which had once looked down on Earth as a weak and insignificant planet, had been driven back. Humanity had shown them what they were capable of. Bonner watched from his ship as the alien fleet scattered, defeated and broken. He stood silently at the helm, the weight of what they had accomplished settling in. This was the moment they had fought for, this was their triumph. But even in the midst of their victory, there was a sense of loss. So many had given their lives to get to this point. Sergeant Davis, Dr. Lyra's colleagues, and countless other soldiers who had fought alongside Bonner, they were all gone. Their sacrifices had made this victory possible, and Bonner knew that they would never be forgotten. Bonner glanced out through the view screen, watching as the remnants of the alien fleet retreated into the darkness of space. The Galactic Council's forces had been defeated, but humanity's journey was far from over. There would always be other threats, other enemies, and other challenges. But for the first time, humanity stood strong, united, and ready to face whatever the future held. Earth was no longer the weak, isolated planet that had been at the mercy of alien empires. It had proven its strength, its resilience, and its will to survive. Back on Earth, celebrations erupted. The war was over, and humanity had won. The streets were filled with cheers, and the skies were lit with fireworks as people celebrated their hard-fought victory. But for Bonner, the victory felt bittersweet. He had led his team through the darkest days of the war, and now, with the council defeated, there was nothing left but the quiet aftermath. The world would rebuild, and the scars of the war would remain, but the future seemed brighter than it had ever been before. Dr. Lyra stood beside him, her eyes focused on the horizon. "We did it," she said, her voice soft but filled with pride. Bonner nodded, his eyes lingering on the stars. "We did," he agreed, but there was something else in his gaze, a sense of caution, of awareness that this victory might only be the beginning. In the final scene, Bonner stood alone on the surface of Earth, looking up at the stars. The war was over, but the journey had just begun. Humanity had proven itself, had shown the galaxy what they were capable of. But Bonner knew that the Galactic Council's retreat didn't mean the end of their troubles. There were other forces in the galaxy, forces that had been watching Earth's rise with interest. They may have been curious, wary, or even respectful of the humans' newfound power, but Bonner knew that there would always be challenges ahead. The stars above him were vast, stretching out into the unknown. Earth had found its place in that vastness, but it was just one small planet in a galaxy full of powerful forces. The Galactic Council may have been defeated, but the galaxy was still full of mysteries, dangers, and opportunities. Earth's future was uncertain, and Bonner couldn't shake the feeling that this victory, important as it was, had only opened the door to new challenges. The camera zoomed out, showing Bonner standing on the surface of the Earth, gazing up at the night sky. The stars shimmered above, and in that moment, Bonner felt the weight of what they had accomplished and the weight of what still lay ahead. Humanity was no longer just a weak, abandoned planet. They were now a force to be reckoned with. And no matter what the future held, they would face it head-on, as a united species, ready to take on whatever came their way. As the camera pulled back further, the Earth grew smaller in the distance, a small but resolute dot in the vastness of space. The future was uncertain, but one thing was clear: humanity was here to stay, and they were ready to make their mark on the galaxy. The screen faded to black, leaving the audience with the sense that the story of humanity's rise had only just begun. The journey of a once-forgotten planet, now a galactic power, had only begun to unfold.